Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jag, and in today's class we're going to continue with our Math 5-6 content, and what we're covering today is the topic on multiplying and dividing fractions. So with that, let's get started. Again, I'm going to take some questions here from the textbook. Okay, and we're going to make sure that we try a lot of different practice questions today. So let's try this one here. Okay, so I have negative 4 over 5. I'm going to multiply it by 1 over 3. So when you multiply fractions, it's actually very simple. All I'm going to do is multiply the two numerators together. So I'm going to do negative 5. I'll write it here, negative 5 times 1 on the top, okay? On the bottom, I'm just going to do 4 times 3. Okay, does everyone see that? And we're multiplying these two numbers. I'm going to keep the negative sign with the numerator. So negative 5 times 1 is negative 5 on the top. And on the bottom, we're doing 4 times 3, which is equal to 12. Okay, and this is my final answer. It is negative 5 over 12. And it is as simple as that. Okay, make sure when you get your final answer, if you can reduce it, I would reduce it into the simplest form. Okay? So let's try another example here. Okay, let's try. Then we put example. Okay, so let's try negative 2 over 3 times 5 over 4. Okay, so I can see here that 5 over 4 is an improper fraction. Again, when you multiply fractions, it does not matter. What we're going to do is multiply the top. So negative 2 times 5. Okay, and if you look on the bottom, we're going to do 3 times 4. I'm going to multiply the two numbers in the numerator together. So negative 2 times 5, negative 10. Okay, so make sure you are watching the signs. Okay, when I multiply a negative by a positive, the answer is still going to be negative here. And on the bottom, okay, it's going to be 3 times 4, which is equal to 12. Okay, so now some students might think this is the final answer. This is not the final answer, okay? I can see that both 10 and 12 are even numbers. Whenever the numbers are even, I can always divide it by 2, okay? And I should double check as well that I can. So I'm going to put divided by 2 here. Okay, so again, we're doing negative 10 divided by 2. This is equal to negative 5. And on the bottom, I'm doing 12 divided by 2, which is equal to 6. And this will be my final answer. Okay, so you can see the actual answer here is negative 5. So I'm going to move it up here so we can see it. So it's negative 5 over 6. Okay, this is my final answer. All right, good. So with that, let's try one more example here. Okay, so I'm going to take this off. Okay, and let's try one where we have something small, okay? But the teacher can also give you something that is a whole number. It can also be a mixed number, okay? So let's try this one. So I have 2, so negative 2 and 1 over 5, okay, times 1 and 3 over 4. Okay, so is everyone looking here? So I can see this as a mixed number, okay? So I don't want to get scared when I see the mixed numbers. I'm going to change it into the improper fraction, okay? And I would always do it this way. So I'm going to do 5 times negative 2 on the top, okay? So you multiply the denominator with the actual big number here, and then you're adding the numerator, so plus 1. And the whole thing is still over 5. Does everyone see that? So we're doing 5 times negative 2 plus 1, okay? So let's just write our answer here, okay? Everyone can see it? So this is going to be negative 10, okay, plus 1, negative 11 over 5. Okay, if I look at the next fraction, we're doing 4 times 1, and then plus 3. And this is for the numerator. If you want to put brackets so you don't get confused, that's all right as well. The denominator is still going to be 4. Okay? So I'm doing 4 times 1, which is 4, plus 3, which is equal to 7. So 7 over 4. So again, one more time, it does not matter here, okay? If it is an improper fraction, I'm still going to just multiply these numbers. So we're doing negative 11 times 7, so negative 77, okay? And on the bottom, I'm doing 5 times 4, which is equal to 20, okay? If your final answer is like this and it's an improper fraction, okay, I would actually make sure I change this into a mixed number, okay? So again, I'm going to see how many times does 20 go into 77 without going over, okay? So I know if I do 3, 20 times 3 is going to be 60, okay? If I do 20 times 4, okay, that's going to equal to 80, so it's too much. So it's going to be 3 like as a big whole number, okay? And 20 times 3, okay, is 60. So I'm going to just show it to you here. And we're going to do 77 minus 60. And this is when we're looking for the numerator, okay? So I can see that the numerator is equal to 17, okay? So it's going to be 3 and 17 over 20. Okay, I'm just going to circle my final answer here. Okay, and again, when you're checking your answer, you're just doing 20 times 3, which is 60, plus 17, and that's equal to 77 over 20. So I can see that I can always check my answer as well when I change it from the improper fraction into the mixed number. All right, if you feel like you have some difficulty changing in between from the mixed number to the improper fraction or vice versa, make sure you do check out one of my videos, and that's the only thing that we are covering in that video, and that's how to change the mixed fraction into the improper fraction. That's actually a very important skill. Okay, all right, so with that, let's move on, and what we're going to go to is dividing of the fractions. Okay, so I'm going to take a very simple example here, okay, in the textbook. So let's try this one. So negative 1 over 5 divided by 7 over 4, okay? So say I'm doing this question here, okay? I can't multiply it, but what we're going to do is change the fractions into a multiplication expression. So we're going to do negative 1 over 5. You change the division sign to multiplication, and then you flip over the second fraction. So instead of 7 over 4, it becomes 4 over 7. Everyone see that? Okay, so you're only flipping over the second fraction. And now I can see I changed it into a multiplication expression. I can just multiply the numerators together. Let's write it here. So we're doing negative 1 times 4, so negative 4. And on the bottom, you're going to multiply the denominators. I'm going to do 5 times 7, which is equal to 35. Okay, again, I'm checking to make sure I cannot reduce my fraction. And if you can't reduce it, that is going to be your final answer. All right, so let's try one more example here. Okay, let's try this one. So I have negative 3 over 2. Okay, and then we're going to divide it by negative 10 over 7. Okay, so one more time, keep the first fraction the same. So we're going to put negative 3 over 2. I'm going to change the division sign to multiplication, and I'm going to flip over this second fraction. So I can see that it's negative 10 over 7, and now it's going to be 7 over negative 10. So a lot of the time, students are asking about the negative sign, okay? Like, should I leave the negative sign with the numerator or the denominator? Okay, and I always tell students that it does not matter, okay? Your final answer, okay, will either have the negative sign or it won't, okay? So if there's one negative sign, that makes the whole fraction negative, okay? So it doesn't matter if you do put it in the numerator or the denominator, okay? So we're going to multiply both the top and the bottom together. So let's multiply the numerator first. We're doing negative 3 times 7, so negative 21. Okay, and on the bottom, we're multiplying the denominators. 2 times negative 10, which is negative 20. Okay, and one thing we need to note here is because you have two negative signs, okay, the negative sign does cancel out, okay? And we also want to, so I'll put 21 over 20. we want to make sure our final answer is as a mixed fraction. It shouldn't be as the improper fraction, okay? So we're going to see how many times does 20 go into 21, which is just once. And if you do 21 minus 20, that's equal to 1. So I have 1 left over. That 1 is going to be in the numerator, okay? So my final answer here is 1, okay? And 1 over 20. All right? So make sure again, most teachers will ask you to keep your final answer as a mixed fraction and not the improper fraction. All right, so let's try one last question, and I want to try one where we have, we can have like a mixed number, and then you can also have a whole number as well, okay? So I'm going to take this off. Okay, and we're going to try, let's try this question. So -2, and it's divided by -3, 4 over 5. Okay, yeah, so this is the right question here. Again, I have some negative signs, okay? If you get confused, I always just put brackets around it, okay? Just to keep it separate, okay? If I have a whole number, which is -2, I can actually write it like this, like -2 over 1, okay? Just so you can see the fraction, all right? Again, we have a mixed number. We're going to change that to the improper fraction here. So I'm doing 5, let's put in brackets, times -3, which is the big number, the whole number. And you're going to add the numerator there. So plus 4. Okay, and the whole thing is over 5. Okay, so far we haven't actually done anything. We're just changing the mixed number into the improper fraction. Okay, so I'm going to put -2 over 1 divided by, so we're doing 5 times -3, okay? So this is -15, and plus 4 here, okay? So -19 over 5, okay? Again, I'm just gonna flip over this fraction. So we'll do -2 over 1, okay? Times 5 over -19. Okay, and it's okay again, we're just going to multiply the numerators here. So we're doing -2 times 5, so -10. And 1 times -19 is -19. Okay, so again, I have 2 negative answers here. And the negatives are going to cancel out. Okay, and that's going to be my final answer. Okay, so are there any questions here? Again, when you're multiplying the fractions, okay, I have to just make sure, okay, that I'm multiplying the numerators and the denominators separately. When you're dividing the fractions, okay, I just need to make sure I am flipping over that second fraction. Alright, so if there are no questions, that brings this video to an end. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see everyone in the next video. Thanks, bye.